Okay, so what we're going over right now are a few tools we have available to help troubleshoot the fully communicating ECM motor on our Infinity Series product. This motor is not one that's easily troubleshooted just with an electrical meter. You need to have basically a ECM simulator, but there are two kinds we have available, okay? And one is preferably better than the other. This one here is the actual carrier ECM simulator, which is designed specifically for this motor and board to detect that we have proper communication from the board to the motor. The other one we have available is what's called the Tech Inspect. This is made by Gentech, same manufacturers of the motor. What this does here is just simply give you is the motor good or the motor bad, all right? What this does is sends a 24-volt signal to the motor on the proper connections to run it at full speed. So what you get in here are your two wires that you're going to connect to a 24-volt power source. So here we just have it wired to R and common on our board. We can see we have a green light here, so we have the correct power source. The next thing is you'll look through your adapters that you have in here. We'll be using this plug here. So what you have to do is get into the motor and unplug the communication adapter that we can see here. It's the Ford plug. It's exactly identical to this. Once you have that unplugged, you'll now plug in your Tech Inspect. All right, so here we have the luxury of having our return on the right side, so we can access our motor. With that plugged in, we have our 24 volts power source. We're just going to turn this on. That's going to give a command to that motor to run at 100%. Okay. So this tool here lets us know that that motor and module are good as far as it will run the motor at 100%. The downside of this tool is it does not test the serial communication that happens from the circuit board to that module. Even though this turns the motor on and runs, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that that module is good. That's where our other troubleshooting tool here comes into play, and that's what we'll use. The cool thing with the Tech Inspect is you can use this on multiple Gentech ECM motors. It's not specific to this model. So we can turn this off, that'll kill the command, and it'll shut it off. So this is just one way to kind of help you progress through the troubleshooting. You know, at least lets you know, okay, my motor's good, it's working. Now is my problem through the wire harness or at the board, and you can go from there. All right, so now this tool is one manufactured by Carrier. This one is specifically made to troubleshoot your Infinity Series ECM motors, okay? So what comes in the box is you'll have your ECM motor simulator, which again has simple instructions on going through troubleshooting it. You can test the inducer motors, your variable speed inducer motors, and also your variable speed blower motors. Now, the benefit of this is actually going to test the output from your circuit board and let you know if that is correct. So that will at least let you know that, okay, my board is sending everything properly to that motor, it should be running. If it's not, then we can know we're either dealing with a module or motor failure. You'll have a few adapters that come in the box, okay? So this is going to be for your inducer motor here, and this will be for the blower motor here, all right? So you'll also have a set of instructions on how to go through and operate this. For the main part, you'll simply follow these right here. All right, so we can see here, we're just going to turn our mode to off or unplug our green plug. If you're using a conventional thermostat, you're gonna remove your R wire so you're not supplying anything to the board. Then what we'll do is disconnect our communication from our motor, okay? And we'll have our blower motor connection here, which is going to be an adapter. So that comes in here. Now, this plug here, which goes into the motor, is now going to plug into here. You'll just want to make sure that obviously your colors are accurate. It'll only go in one way, all right? So now, what your simulator is going to do, we'll have the power on, all right? And we're testing this communication here from the board, and instead of going to the motor, we're going right to our simulator, all right? So we have that in. Now, this next step, once we have everything connected, is we're going to put the board into a component self-test. And that's going to go through and energize your inducer, turn your igniter on, and then it's going to send a command to your blower motor to turn on. So your component self-test is on switch block 1, and it's dip switch 6. You need to turn that to the on position, and that'll go into a component self-test. So we can see now that our inducer's coming on, our igniter will glow, and then we'll get a command for our blower as well. At the end of the component self-test, if everything checks out properly, including this communication, then our LED should flash a code 11, letting us know that everything is good. If we were to have an error with this communication, then our LED would flash code 41, which would be a blower motor fault. So now it's going through the test. We're simply going to wait and look for our amber light, and it's blinking now. So we can see that we have one fast flash and one slow flash, which is indicating that we have a code 11, which everything checked out properly. So this simulator has now let us know that the communication from the board to that motor is correct, and if we have a problem where that motor is not starting, then the problem lies in the motor itself. All right. One of the other benefits with this Carrier ECM simulator is it gives us the ability to test our variable speed inducer motors as well. So to do that, we have an adapter harness here that comes in the kit. We're going to simply unplug our high voltage and our communication line that goes to our variable speed inducer. We're going to plug them into our module. You can see here we have our 120 volt LED, and we're going to go through the same process we did before. Now that it's connected, we're going to put it into our component self-test. It's now going to go through the component self-test, which is sending a signal to this module saying, all right, run the inducer motor. Then it'll turn the blower on, the igniter on, and we're going to look for that code 11 again. We see our igniter glowing. The blower motor will come on next. Okay, our test is finished, and we're looking for our LED. We have one flash and one slow flash. So that indicates we have a code 11, which means the component self-test went through just fine. That lets us know that our communication signal from our circuit board to our motor was correct, and if this motor is not running, we know that the problem lies within this motor. So that is another excellent benefit of this tool, and it really helps test those communication signals that can't be easily tested with an electrical meter. So highly recommend, if you work on a lot of Carrier equipment and a lot of Carrier Infinity equipment, that you have one of these tools available. All right, that'll be it.